the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 2, starting at verse 4, and it reads, "And my speech and preaching was not with enticing words of man's wisdom, but in demonstration of the Spirit and of power, that your faith shall not stand in the wisdom of men, but in the power of God. Howbeit we speak wisdom among them that are perfect, yet not the wisdom of this world, nor of the princes of this world that come to naught. But we speak wisdom of God in a mystery, even the hidden wisdom which God ordained before the world unto our glory." Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all honor and glory to the Heavenly Father, whose name is YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA, QADASH. Double honors to the elders, the bishops, and the apostles of the great millstone. That is where I learned this truth. Much respect to the brothers who's doing this work in all truth and sincerity for the second coming of our Lord and Savior, YAHAWASHI HaMashiach. Shalom to the Lord's elect. Just want to get into a very quick lesson here. Lord's willing, will be edifying and to the point. This article here, as you can see, is from the Hal Turner radio show. And it says, Iran receives nuclear threat over pending retaliation against Israel. Well, we know that one of the most recent assassinations was Ismail Haniyeh. So he was killed on Iranian soil. So this is all related to that. This is why it says Iran received nuclear threat over pending retaliation against Israel. Let's get to the article. It says former Iranian diplomat Amir al-Musavi told Al-Mayadeen News that Iran has been threatened with a nuclear strike. Musavi stressed that Iran has made it clear any nuclear attack will be met with a proportional response. Iran has recently been boasting about having nuclear weapons. We know that big brother Russia will supply Iran with nukes. Pakistan recently openly donated some nuke conventional two-way missiles. They're conventional missiles, also nuclear equipped missiles. Iran has just been boasting that they have nukes, so we know that they're not going to sit idle and not do anything. You go on the various social media platforms, there's a lot of people in the world that are calling Iran, they're saying Iran is soft in terms of the response. So let's get into that article. Lord's willing, it'll be edifying, you get something out of it. It says he further noted that those insinuating the threats receive even stronger replies. See? He also urged people to ignore baseless claims of alleged Iranian cowardice. This is what it's talking about. There you go. Circulated on social media over the still delay retaliation against Israel for the assassination of Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran weeks ago. So, in case anybody didn't know, Iran's president was also he met his fate in that helicopter crash, where there's a lot of reports that it was shot down, or it was used the technology jammers to bring the helicopter down. But anyways, Iran just sworn in a new president recently after the death of Raisi. So this here is it's all part of it as well, because it says Iran urged people to ignore the baseless claims of an alleged Iranian cowardice. So they still haven't forgotten about that as well. So it says circulation on social media over the still delayed retaliation against Israel for the assassination of Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran 2 weeks ago. So Haniyeh was in Iran, Iran, for the sworn-in ceremony of the new president. So while he was there, he was in one of the guest houses for dignitaries, and he met his fate as well. So they're saying that Might possibly be an inside job with the assistance of the counterintelligence of the enemy. But either way, he was killed as a guest on Iranian soil. So of course this is all part of their retaliation. All right. So it says, Mousavi concluded by asserting that Iran, together with his allies, is fully prepared to confront the Zionist entity Israel with full force. And that's why it goes into prophecy of what? 2nd Ezra 15 verse 28 down. You see, behold a horrible vision where the dragons of Arabia, because it says what? Mousavi concluded by asserting that Iran, together with its allies, all the Arab states, well, not all, but a vast majority of them from Syria, Yemen, Lebanon, Iran, Turkey. So it says, Mousavi concluded by asserting that Iran, together with its allies, is fully prepared to confront the Zionist entity Israel with full force. It says, so this is the analyst here, Hal Turner, basically the owner of this article. It says, in the ongoing soap opera of the Israel/Iran troubles, we have finally reached the apex threat stage, nuclear attack. I call it a soap opera because it is like the old TV soap operas. You can walk away from it for a whole week. Because if anybody, he was just recently on vacation for a week, so I guess this is why he's saying this as well. He says you can walk away from it for a whole week, and when you get back, you find you haven't missed anything substantial. As readers are aware, today, August 15th, there you go, is my first day back from work, Salakia, from my vacation last week. So yes, he was gone for a week, so that's why he made that statement. And as I pursue the available intel and news, I realize I haven't missed much. What I have missed, or rather been relied of for a week, is all the stress that had come with the ongoing situation. As usual, folks in the Middle East, I'm just reading it verbatim, are all hyped and ready to blow each other up. Again, as usual. It's been this way for decades and shows little sign of abating. As I look at the nuclear strike claim, I realize the one thing different about this situation is that the threat was actually made. So Iran received a threat. So they haven't said which country threatened Iran, but we know recently Lloyd Austin and his crew, Americans, they pretty much said if Iran responds, they'll be met with nuclear response, retaliation. If they respond to the attack from Israel, America will level them with nukes or something to that effect. But this is what it's hinting around about. It says for decades, it was quiet part. For decades, it was the quiet part, Salakia. The part no one said out loud. It was always known and presumed that no one could hit Israel without the real possibility of being nuked by Israel, because Israel does have that Samson option, that if they're going down, they're going to burn the whole city down, right? They have nukes to respond. So they have that Samson option. I'll keep saying Samson option. It says, let me read that again. It was always known and presumed that no one could hit Israel without the real possibility of being nuked by Israel. But now, the actual threat has been made. Interesting things are happening. First, there is no abatement of the retaliation by Iran. Iran says, is coming and will be delivered. Bold words, right? It says, so what did nuclear threat accomplish? Looking at the situation as an outsider, I actually am. Iran faces a very simple reality. If they do not hit Israel back for the assassination, then they don't have a country anymore. Israel will be free to kill whomever They want wherever they want, whenever they want. But they do hit Israel back, and very, very hard. It may give them pause before they think about undertaking such an act again. But it will also unleash the very war that Israel has been looking at waging since the Iranian nuclear program became public knowledge. Israel simply will not tolerate any other nearby country being equipped with nuclear weapons the same way the Israelis have nuclear weapons. See that? If any neighbor country has nukes, that will deter Israel from its ongoing military abuse of its neighbors. So for a while, Iran was kept at bay in terms of the nuclear program. There was some joint agreement they made with the Americans, where Americans were allowed to inspect to see if they have any weapons, any nuclear weapons. It says, many sources have repeatedly told me that Iran already has nuclear weapons. They allegedly got them via their own research and with the help from North Korea. So they're all allies, right? That's going to be the fulfillment of Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. None of us knows for certain if this claim of Iran nukes is true, but it says, but back to the issue at hand. Israel has apparently made an actual direct nuclear attack threat. So again, for Iran, the issue is simple. Does Iran hit Israelis back hard for assassination Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran or not? In my analysis, this is no-brainer. I think Iran must hit Israel back very hard. Remember, back in April of this year, Israel bombed the Iran embassy compound in Damascus, Syria. So there's a lot of retaliation on the part of, if there's such a word, but there was a lot of non-retaliation on the part of Iran thus far. But you know that can't go on forever, right? It says, here we go. Say that was an open act of war because embassies are what? Are off limits. Israel claimed that they were hiding Hamas operatives or Hezbollah. I'm not sure. I can't remember right now, but they were saying that they were hiding some. They had their war generals or whatever there in the compound of the embassy. So that's why they claimed they hit it. Iran made a retaliation with force, much of which was shunted by Israeli defenses, with assistance from the allies like the U.S. and U.K. Those are usual the three usual allies, right? U.S., U.K., and Israel. And if you look at that history, it all makes sense, because in the book of Daniel 7 verse 8, America's that little horn that came out of the British. The eighth came out of the seventh, right? America came out of the British, and between America, Britain, and they created the Israeli state in 1948. So they all go hand in hand. The Rothschilds and Edward Balfour, they were the main catalysts for creating the state. It says, but in the retaliation, deadly weaknesses in Israelis' defense were exposed. Several Iranian ballistic missiles got through Israeli defense and struck Israeli military bases. And that was a very weak response from Iran. That, to me, and I guess some of the experts out there said, what? That was just to test the Iron Dome to see what it can hold, what it can sustain. And it caused a lot of damage than was previously reported. It proved that Israel could be successfully hit. Yep, there you go. And the Israelis now know that they are nowhere near the invincible as they thought they were. And this is the first time it was actively hit. So now they know that there's a kink in the armor. That's why they're doing it. It says they don't like this reality, and so they have up an ante to actual nuclear threat. It says, this was foolishness on the part of Israeli, that psychotic. Sorry, Salakia. It says, this was foolishness on the part of Israel that is psychotic in its origin. If Israel nukes Iran over any conventional attack, what does Israel think Russia will do? Because they're all partners. Russia had vows to stand with Iran no matter what. North Korea, same thing. And that's why they recently dubbed these countries, North Korea, Iran, I think, and Russia, the axis of evil. That's for another lesson, another day. It says, what will North Korea do? What will Pakistan do? These are close allies. Pakistan just off-leashed a whole bunch of missiles to Iran. To Iran, Salakia. It says, I think one or more of these countries would launch nuclear strikes at Israel. 100%. Much of Israel will be annihilated. And that's prophecy, right? That Israel will be annihilated, but it has to be built back up in the kingdom. Now, because that's where the headquarters will be of righteousness. And you're not seeing that today because it's nothing but war and turmoil. It says, now the U.S. would be in a real pickle if any of this happened, because as Israeli codependent enabler, the U.S. would be obligated to come to the aid of their psycho, bully little brother Israel. See? Would U.S. political leaders risk an all-out nuclear war? Let's go to scriptures for a second. I know I bring this out quite a bit, but this is the time we're in. Isaiah 9, verse 5. It says, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise. This always talks about what goes into the ancient wars, how they were fought. Spears, bucklers, shields, and close proximity, and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. That's why everything is going nuclear. See? Everything is going nuclear for that reason. You see, because right now, in that land has to be cleansed because YAHAWASHI has not returned yet. So that's why all these turmoils and all these wars and all the killing and all the bloodshed is going on in that land right now, because the land has to be cleansed. And what is the major cleansing agent? A fire. Fire cleanses from the nuclear missiles, right? So that land has to be cleansed, because we know that the Messiah in the return, he says in the book of Luke 12:49, when he returns, this place will already be on fire. So right now there's no peace in those regions. Actually, let me continue to read the rest, other two scriptures. Isaiah 9 verse 6, one of my favorite all-time scriptures. Isaiah 9 verse 6, it says, they're talking about Lord Yahawashi here, right? For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder. That's in righteousness, right? Because as it links with what Proverbs 29 verse 2, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Right now, nobody's rejoicing because the wicked is ruling the earth. It says, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And right now, people are mourning, right? So this is why it says, for unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God. See, the mighty power, the everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. See, the Prince of Peace, Shiloh, right? Of the increase of his government and peace, there shall be no end. You see, when Yahawashi sits on that throne, all these nations that have all these nuclear weapons and missiles and stuff, they will turn their missiles into farming equipment, into plowshares. Well, right now, this is not what you're seeing. You're seeing the total opposite. In the book of Joel 3 verse 10, all these nations that are coming up against America, from Yemenis, all these nations, it says what? Let the weak say I am strong. See? It says, of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth forever. Amen. See, for even forever. See, the zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this. So this is why you're seeing all this chaos, because Yahawashi is not in that land. Because when the Lord comes, he's coming for two reasons. He's coming for the destruction and the deliverance of his people and set them in their own land. That is Jerusalem will be the headquarters of righteousness. But right now, it is being trampled down and trodden down because it has to be cleansed. Luke 21 verse 24. See, let's continue. It says, would U.S. political leaders risk an all-out nuclear war for a bunch of psychotics from inbreeding over in Israel? Maybe, maybe not. Which brings us back to Israel's nuclear threat. If I was in Iran, I would realize the nuclear threat is possible, but not probable. Right? If I was in Iran, I would realize that Israel has wanted an excuse to go after Iran's nuclear program for years. And this situation right now was intentionally created by Israel to cause that exact war. Did a lesson a few weeks back to the Spirit and Power YAHAWASHI. And I was searching for how much countries so far in open conflict right now with Israel. It was up to 16 countries. So you're seeing that this is prophetic because it is a time of war. No matter what Israel do, America have no choice but to join in and help because it's prophecy, right? That's why another reason why he says, what did he say here? The little brother, big brother have no choice but to come in to step up the aid of little brother. Something to that effect he says. Let's go to the scriptures. Jeremiah 49 verse 20. Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord. Let's go to that word counsel for a second. I want to see what it says. H6098.
Strong's H 6098. Eitzah.
It says what? Advice by implication. See that? Counsel, planned. This is the Lord's plan. Advice, advertisement, counsel, purpose, right? Because it's the Lord's plan to allow put the Spirit on these kings and these rulers to draw them into the valley of Jehoshaphat to fight. And the real reason is all about the controversy of Zion, for what they have done to the Lord's chosen people, the true Israelites of the Bible. It says, therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord that he have taken against Edom and his purposes, that he have purpose against the inhabitants of Teman, which are the Germans today, because they were blessed with all they were the modern day scientists. Like they were the first ones to create the nuclear bomb, the atoms. It says, surely the least of the flock, this is Israel, that little landmass right now, they're the least of the flock, shall draw them out. Draw who out? Draw America out. It says, surely the least of the flock, Israel, shall draw them out, America. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. Both of them will be destroyed. America will be left as a monument, utterly destroyed. No humans will live there again, only for the wild animals. But Israel will be destroyed, leveled, burnt, annihilated, but it will be built back up in the kingdom with all the precious stones. This is all prophecy. And as I always say, prophecy is undefeated, right? Let's continue this article. It says, here we go. Yes, it says, if I was in Iran, I will also realize that Israel has wanted an excuse to go after Iran's nuclear program for years. And this situation right now was intentionally created by Israel to cause the exact war. It is coming and nothing will stop it. 100%, because the Lord is putting that spirit on all these nations. You see, I quoted it in Joel, the 3rd chapter. The Lord is gathering all these nations to fight the war to end all wars, which is Armageddon, World War III. Because we know that we had two major world wars so far, 1914 to 1918. 1939 to 1945, and now this one, right? This is going to be the war to end all wars. Bear with me for 1 second. Salakia, just took a drink. So where were we? Sorry, it says, so if I was an Iranian political leader, I would resign myself to the reality that a big war is here, and I would go go for the gusto. Or would order a massive attack upon Israel in response to the assassination of Ismail Haniyeh. Remember, this guy, he was a high-level weapons inspector, right? No, that was Scott Ritter, but he had high clearance as well, and he still does because he has a lot of intel. And we know Scott Ritter was recently, his house was recently raided by the FBI because these guys have a lot of intel. It says high-level intel. It says, and the total victory of Iran's sovereignty. See, the assassination. It says the assassination actually was, and a total violation of Iran's sovereignty. Let's go into that for 1 second. Sovereignty, just for edification purposes. Sovereignty. It says a supreme ruler, especially a monarch. So Iran has the Ayatollah. Ayatollah is what? Ali Khamenei. So he is the supreme leader. So Hal Turner is asking, he's saying it here, and that would be a violation of Iran's sovereignty. The assassination actually was. So is Iran sovereign? Right? Allow another nation to do as they will, go into Syria, bomb their embassy, the Iranian embassy, kill some people, kill their president recently, killed their guests on their soil. So this is what Hal Turner is trying to bring out. What is coming for this? It says Iran is either sovereign or they're not. See? And I just brought up a reason of sovereign. You know that right now, let's continue here. It says, if they want to be sovereign, it seems to me they must hit Israel. See? Because they're allowing Israel to do as they will. Since the Iran retaliation after the embassy bombing did not deter Israel. This retaliation is for the assassination of Haniyeh. Must be at least 10 times larger. And they promise a larger scale response, right? The longer Iran waits, the more Israel has time to prepare, which is true. The more time the US and UK have to move assets. See, let me pause that for a second. Look at this here. This is, what is it? This is what? 2 days ago. The United States naval presence, this is dated August 13, 2024. It says the United States naval presence around the Middle East is getting a firepower boost. Here are the warships already there and what's underway. Because you see, they know this is for all-out war, right? See here, it says the United States Navy is rapidly moving additional forces to the Middle East, and the region remains on high alert, bracing for a potential attack on Israel by Iran and its proxies. Iranian officials have vowed to take revenge over the recent assassination of Hezbollah and Hamas leaders. I forgot about him too. Both of which have been blamed on Israel, and fears continue to grow that any retaliation from Tehran and its proxies could plunge in the Middle East into more violence. Facing the possibility, the Pentagon have deployed several military assets from the Middle East this month to defend Israel, and U.S. troops in the region. Most recently on Sunday, the Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin, directed a submarine to the Middle East and ordered a carrier strike group to accelerate its transit to that region. So they're beefing up warships, subs, everything. It says, when these planes, F-16s, F-35s, when these forces arrive on station, they will set to join a wider range of existing naval capabilities in the Middle East and Eastern Mediterranean that were already deployed in response to various conflicts. So they already have their stuff in motion. It says, the following are the American warships already in the sea, already in the area, and those underway. A defense official who spoke to the Business Insider on the condition of being anonymous to discuss sensitive force posture changes said Tuesday, adding to its navy was ready to respond to anything. So you're seeing all their bringing all the big boy troops, right? This is in the Red Sea right now. Look at that. It says the USS Cole is operating in the Red Sea, where the Navy has been seen, because remember they're also fighting with the Houthis from Yemen, so they have a lot of little conflicts. But also Yemen is what, assisting Iran. That's why they said. That's why he said Iran and its proxies. You know, because we know that this is going to an all out war. See, this is why. Because you'll see that. One second. One second. I want to bring out one thing here. It says, let's see. All right. I can't seem to find what I'm looking for right now. But it says, and anyways, let's continue. It says, the USS Destroyer Cole is operating in the Red Sea, where the Navy has been seeing continuous conflict for months. We know that what this is doing, because these people have what? They have the power to take peace from the earth. And that's why this is how you know through the scriptures, they are the Edomites. Let's go there really quickly. Revelation 6 verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red. A horse represents power. Look at all the ships that they're sending over there. That was red. And Esau came out red like a hairy garment, right? And we know that Esau's name was changed to Edom, and they're a progenitor of the Edomites. It says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take what? Peace from the earth, because they have this power. And they shall kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. Talk about the modern day sword. The ultimate sword is what? The missiles. But Esau's blessing was the sword. So this is why you can know through the scriptures who they are. It says, and they went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. And this is what you have. This is what's happening. This whole region right now is in high alert. They're bracing for war. That's the peace to taken away from the earth, right? And that they shall kill one another, because that's what they've been doing for decades, for centuries, for you name it. It says, and there was given unto him a great sword. So this is what you're seeing right now today. Because what? This is what this is coming to do. Take peace from the earth. Because this is all prophecy, right? Look at that. All these warships that are here in transit. Eisenhower, Roosevelt, all these ones, they're coming. See? But yeah, you're seeing that. They're ready for battle. But anyhow, I hope you've been edified. Till the next time I say, Thawada, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA, QADASH. Shalom, Israel.